Hey guys, it's Aaron. So I came across this guy on Instagram named Milad. I think I'm saying that right, but he's a SketchUp enthusiast and he issued this challenge. He wanted to challenge his followers, his SketchUp using followers, to try to make something in SketchUp. But there was a catch. He wanted to make it only using native tools. So I thought this was awesome. I thought it was super cool. I want to look at what he challenged and a couple ways that I thought about actually doing it. So we're going to hop right in right now. Actually, before we do that, we'll link to his account down below and you should check it out. And if you haven't done this yet, I would recommend trying it first. Pause right now, run over to SketchUp, give this a shot, see if you can figure out a way to do it, and then come on back and see the way that I ended up doing it. So with that, we'll hop back in. All right, so this is the shape that Milad challenged us all with. So you have basically he had a little video of a piece of paper, just a strip of paper, and folded it over itself and turned it to 90 degrees. So this is one surface that swoops up and comes over here. My initial idea when I view this would be something like Fredo scale and do some bending and turning and that kind of thing, and I don't think it would be too terribly difficult to do with that. But again, the challenge here is to do this with native tools. So I actually came up with two different ways I ended up doing it. The first one was not very much fun. It was basically these two shapes, basically like a chopped off rectangle with this angle cut, two of them, and then I ended up making a couple of curves and hand stitching the whole thing together. I'm not going to show you that method because it worked, but it was a whole lot of just drawing lines back and forth to close up the curves. Instead, what I want to show you was a different method of doing that actually touches on a solid half dozen skills that you should really have in your skill box. I don't know. Wherever you keep your skills, you should have these there. So here's the way this works. To start off with, we're just going to start making a long rectangle. I'm not going to do exact dimensions or anything like that, but we're going to get the same shape. So I'm going to draw a long rectangle. This is our strip. Now, first thing I need to do is I need to take this rectangle, I need to break it with a 45-degree line. The quickest and easiest way for me to do this is what I end up doing, is drawing a line off to the side, selecting it, rotating, clicking right here, and then just swing it around to, in this case, it'll be 135 degrees. That's going to be 90 degrees to straight up, plus another 45 is going to put me right at 135. All right, let me get this little extra line there. I'm going to take that now, and I'm going to copy it straight up. All right, so there we go. I'm going to put that about in the middle. That's what we got. We got the break. This is what we want so far. Now I have to take this and I have to rotate it. So this piece will end up going vertical. This piece will be the one laying at 90 degrees horizontal to this first piece. To do this, we're going to use the rotate command. And I don't want to rotate along any of the standard axes here. I don't want to rotate along red, green, or blue. I want to rotate along this line right here. So I'm going to click on the end and hold down and drag my mouse over here. That sets this as the center. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these two faces. And I'm going to rotate, click, drag. And I'm going to click anywhere on this first surface. I'm going to click on this line right here and just rotate that to 90 degrees. That gives me that. You can see one of the things that we're definitely going to be touching on here is how to use tools off axes, because nothing is going to end up on axes once we're done. I'm going to grab this piece right here. Same thing. Rotate, click, drag. I'm going to click on this point and bring it down 90 degrees also. So at that point, you can see what we've got. We've got kind of like the low poly version of this folded over piece of paper. That's good. What we need to do now is calculate or figure out where that curve's going to go. I ended up doing this. I grabbed all of this and made it a group to isolate this geometry, because as I work on this curve, I don't want anything to join together with this geometry. So I'm going to do that first, make it a group. And now what I want is basically, I want to start with looking at directly from the side like this. I want a half circle curve right here. Just a perfect half circle. Now, that gets to be tricky because if I click on circle, I could, again, align to one of these surfaces or align to this face, but I don't have a surface that is perpendicular to this line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my inferencing engine to create a plane that I'm going to use as reference. I'm going to find the midpoint of this line. I'm going to hover over this line right here and then drop down this way until I get that. Ooh, I saw it, it flickered. It was there. That pink line. There we go. That's the line I'm looking for. Perpendicular to that face. Then I'm going to drop a line down vertical. I'm going to come back over on that same pink line and close it up. So what I've created there is basically just a little tiny square directly perpendicular to this surface right here. Now I'll grab my circle. I'm going to use that same, I'm going to inference this surface, but use that same midpoint. I'm going to pull a circle straight up to this point right here. All right, that's what I want. I don't need that reference plane anymore. In fact, I don't need half this circle. I only need the outside half. So I'm just going to draw a line like this to bisect the circle and delete that piece. All right, we're getting there. Now, to make this work, to figure out that the most complex part of this is really going to be this curve coming up, the way that this angle, this is not a simple curve. This is actually curves one way than the other. It's a compound curve. Again, using extensions, we could think about using Bezier curves for that, but no extensions. That's the rules. So what I have to do is take this half circle and I'll have to move it over because I'll want the outside of this circle, this point right here, right on the inside. So I'm just going to go ahead and select it. I'm going to hit move, come grab this point, and I'm just going to slide over. I don't have to really worry about inferencing or anything like that because I can just go right. I know that I'm going to go right to the middle point of that line. So what I do is just come over here and find. I got some weird inferencing happening right now. I want to put that right at the middle point of the line. I'm not sure why what's over there. I'm not sure what you're doing. All right, so with that, now I can take this and push-pull it both directions. All right, that's what I want. I don't need these lines here. Now, this is the trickiest part. What I want to do is I want a curve that comes from here to where it touches here, and then a second curve from there down to here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a plane that intersects this half circle, and that will create that curve for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click right here. This is the intersection where the half circle hits our plane in the group. And now I want to come to where it hits in the middle. I'm going to turn my hidden geometry on so I can see that's this point right here. I'm going to draw another line up to here and then over to here. That's going to give me a triangle that's going to show me that curve. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start down here at the bottom, click here, click to that midpoint, and then back to here. Now, I'm going to turn hidden geometry off. I'm going to select three planes, this plane, and this plane. They kind of look like they're the same plane right now. If I temporarily delete this, you can see they actually go two different directions. So I want to select the curve, the lower plane, and the top plane. All three of them. Then right-click and intersect faces with selection. That's going to give me those two curves. Now I can actually come over here and delete this geometry and this geometry. And you can see what that gave me. That's the same curve we have right here. And get rid of this surface and this surface at this point. This is a great shape because I end up having to practice things. So let's do it one more time. I'm going to click right up here at this intersection. Come over here. Now I need to come down the midpoint. So again, I'm going to turn my hidden geometry on. Click to here and back up to here. On the bottom, same thing. Click here to that intersection point, to the bottom. Remember, this geometry is not closing automatically because this is all grouped. Hidden geometry off, select, shift, select, right click, intersect face with selection. There's my curve. I can get rid of all this geometry. I can erase these two lines, insides of my triangles, my triangle faces, and I'm almost there. Last thing I have to do is select my grouped geometry, right click and explode it. And then I can delete these corners off, knock those off there. Don't need them. And very last thing is going to be to modify our key, Option on Mac. I believe it's Alt on Windows to get rid of those two lines. And there we go. I think Milad posted 1 or 2 videos showing different ways to do it. There's a couple different ways to do it. Like I said, I initially did it with a couple of curves and some hand stitching, which was all native tools. But this was pretty cool because there's a lot of good inferencing and just great skills to be learned there. So hopefully you like that. If there is other challenges like that you guys see out there, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, let me know about it, because I love not only working through with my process, showing you guys a couple of skills on the way, how to do it, but I also love calling attention to people out there who are doing something like that with SketchUp. It's good to give them recognition. So this one's for Milad. Thank you very much. Thanks for showing it to us. And thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed that, go ahead and hit like down below. And if you want to see more videos like this when they come out, we release 1 or 2 videos a week. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. That way you'll be notified next time a skill builder comes out. Most importantly though, as always, leave us a comment. Let me know if you've seen other challenges like this that we could spotlight. Or if you have your own ideas for a skill builder, let me know. Like making these videos, but we like them a lot more when they're showing something you want to see. Thank you.